This is IB Sports. I'm BJ Griffin. Let's talk about Strikeforce. Let's talk about the Strikeforce heavyweight Grand Prix bout. Brett Rogers versus Josh Barnett. Let's start with Josh Barnett. Now, Josh Barnett has a whole lot of experience against some very big name fighters. Randy Couture, Big Nog, Mirko Cro Cop when he was a beast. Josh Barnett, very well-rounded. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, solid wrestling, legitimate stand-up. He's probably a little more than just a legitimate fighter. But in recent memory, he hasn't had fights against any big-name heavyweights. So that's a question mark. How well is he going to perform against somebody who is a big-name heavyweight? And Brett Rogers. Let's talk about Brett Rogers a little bit. Now, I was highly unimpressed with his last victory against Ruben Villarreal. Now, he gassed out mid-second round, got some lazy takedowns, and got dominated as Ruben Villarreal was on the bottom, he was dominated as he was on top of him. And then in the third round, he just started getting teed off on as Ruben Villarreal mounted him. So it was not looking very good for Brett Rogers. Somehow, I mean, more than likely because of the scoring based off the takedowns Brett Rogers got. But Brett Rogers was given that victory in that fight. In the two fights before that, he lost to Fedor and Alistair Overeem, which is understandable because a lot of people lose to those guys. And I actually felt like Brett Rogers looked good in the first round going into the Fedor fight. He just got hit in the face. So, fight before that, Brett Rogers knocked out Arlovsky, and which Brett Rogers is going to show up and better question that makes a little more sense, is Brett Rogers going to gas in the Josh Barnett fight? Because I don't feel like he's going to get that. I mean, it's possible, it's very possible, but I don't think he's going to get that first round knockout against Josh Barnett. So if it goes to second, third round, is Brett Rogers going to have energy in the tank? And I'll tell you what, if Brett Rogers gets those lazy takedowns against Josh Barnett, then Brett Rogers could very well get submitted, because when you gas out in a fight, you're kind of tenderizing yourself for the submission. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at Shane perfect example. Look at Shane Carwin versus Brock Lesnar. Shane Carwin is a guy kind of like Brett Rogers who's used to getting those early first round knockouts, and when it gets past the first round to the second, third rounds, you hit the ground, you start tiring out, and once you hit the ground, you're very susceptible to those submissions. And Brock Lesnar isn't even somebody who submits people, and he was able to choke out Shane Carwin as he was that gassed out and he was that tired as Brett Rogers was in his last fight that he happened to win via decision. So I'm going to take Josh Barnett in this fight via third round submission. What do you think? What is your pick for this fight or any of the other fights in this Strikeforce Heavyweight Grand Prix fight card? Of course, I'll also be covering later the main event on this fight card for the Strikeforce Heavyweight Grand Prix, Alistair Overeem versus Fabricio Werdum. So make sure to subscribe, follow us on Twitter, download the podcast. We are on iTunes now. This is IB Sports. I'm BJ Griffin, signing off.